Hey everyone, so today we're going to be talking about the new Ranger Elite Specialization coming in the Visions of Eternity. This is going to be the GALESHOT. This is kind of what we know right now. I'll talk about it a little more probably on Friday when they actually, go over things. Because right now we don't really know the full picture until we see the live stream because they're going to go over all the traits and skills and all that and go really in depth with all that. But this one's going to be just about the GALESHOT. I'm a Ranger main. This is what I give a fuck about. And I'm gonna be real with you, man. I'm kind of disappointed in what I saw. I'm sorry, in what I saw. It sounded like I was about to fucking cry right there. Yeah, I was really disappointed. I'm not gonna lie, man. Like getting something that's really focused around a bow is just really lame to me. You could have just buffed the longbow or had the actual elite spec kind of play around with the longbow a little bit, like some traits or something in there that can enhance it. But no, we unfortunately have just sort of this weird, boring thing. It's kind of crazy because the other two look really cool, especially the bard. As I'm a one of my hobbies is music composing. So the bard character. I don't know how to say that. I'm sorry, but like kind of appeals to me a little bit. Because it is really like it's not like you're playing pop music or something. That's like orchestral shit they're doing there. The big crescendo where you're being a conductor. It's cool as fuck. Anyway, let's actually get into the Ranger here. So I've seen a little confusion on Reddit with people talking about the pet. And we're going to have a pet here. So this is not a petless Ranger. You can see there's a Phoenix right here. There's some shots where they don't show the pet, and that's because I think they're trying to make it a little more clear in terms of like what the bow looks like when it's shooting and stuff. But if you look in the background at some shots in combat, you do see the Phoenix fighting as well as the birds that come out of the bow, which we don't exactly know how that's going to work. They might be utility skills. I don't really know what they are personally. They're probably utility skills because that's the way they kind of describe them. Um, but I don't know. I really don't know like fully what to make out of the birds. So we'll see in a sec.
The GALESHOT
Anyway, so you
manipulates
can see they pull out a
magnificent
bow
gales
here,
to strengthen the power
and
of their
it
bow.
looks cool.
Draw
I don't
your
know.
cyclone bow, a testament to the magical abilities of these skilled Tengu. With your cyclone bow summoned, gain
Also, I do want to notice someone pointed out on Reddit. I don't know if this is true or not. That there might be new Sylvari hairstyles for the female here. That might be a new one. I don't know. I don't play
feathers over
Sylvari.
time. Use these feathers to
So
bluster your enemy,
you could see
firing 3 arrows rapidly.
there's like a bird flying around here, and it might be some sort of like because I mean in some shots there's way more birds than others. So maybe there's 2 over there going towards the enemy. I just realized that.
At your target.
Yeah.
Evade back.
And you can see there's like a whole flock of birds going. I don't know if you can see it too well. Let me just.
Backwards,
I don't
shooting
know.
a hail of wind and arrows, crippling your would-be assailants.
Yeah, you can see the Phoenix right there. He was doing one of the little charge forward ability from the Wyvern. There's the Phoenix.
Use your super.
Yeah, and you can see the birds floating around him again. I don't understand what is with the birds because some of them are like what I think they might have done during this presentation is like like when you have a pet and you're attacking and he then rushes towards them, but then you could pull him back and then or like if you attack a separate enemy he'll come back to you, and then when you attack a separate enemy he'll go to that one. I think that's what they were doing here, if that makes any sense. Like during the trailer presentation they just kept like using a skill on a different enemy or like resummoning the enemy over and over and over again. So that's why the birds were just endlessly chasing them down because you don't really see the birds actually attacking very much. Like I don't really think at all. But they are chasing the enemy down. And the way to describe it, I mean, they do attack.
Dealing heavy damage.
It'd be weird if they didn't.
And finish off your enemy with a.
This is pretty cool. It's a 360 no scope here.
Leaping back with a flourish of arrows.
And you can just see the birds still.
As your enemies.
Yeah, and then now they're chasing towards him, which makes me think, like they untargeted and pulled it back or whatever. And then the birds are now chasing once they attack, if that makes any sense.
Let the wind carry their last.
And we got a dead Drake with, you can see on the Phoenix on the left there too.
Rising from the.
And then one thing to notice here is that the GALESHOT doesn't have any birds around him. So this kind of makes me think like it's gonna like ramp up over time or something as you're using it, or like some sort of mechanic with that, where they're not like always there with you. Which I don't know how to feel. Like I said, it really depends on what we see on Friday. But
Rising from the ashes.
yeah, that's the GALESHOT. So let's go ahead and actually get into the info here. Sorry about the flashbang if you're in like low lighting or whatever. Um, but I mean, if you look at the art here, yeah, it's pretty cool. It's actually very high definition. Goddamn, I haven't really like looked at it. That looks really goddamn good. Um, but yeah, so they basically, let's see here. I'm not going to really read everything, but I'll just kind of point out stuff. Um, okay, but summon the 4 cardinal winds to perform a powerful cyclone bow. Yes, it's like that. So they talk about how they refill arrows over time. And let me see, where did they say that? Tutelage in these skills to willing. Yeah, okay, blah blah blah. That's some fucking stupid. Not stupid. I'm sorry, but lore stuff. Here we go. The cyclone bow generates arrows over time. These arrows are a resource used to fuel skills such as supersonic arrow, a lightning fast shot of wind that deals heavy damage to enemies it pierces. As you use arrow-consuming skills of the bow, you progress towards enabling its finale, Hawkeye, and that's the big dick attack with it. So yeah, so it's sort of like it refills over time. Some people were kind of making it out to be like a Bladesworn thing or whatever, but to me, I see this and I think, what is it? Fucking like Firebrand or something. Because doesn't Firebrand? I haven't played Firebrand in forever, but doesn't that regenerate over time? To me, it's just you put it away, it regenerates over time, and then you could whip it out and then do the skills or whatever, and then put it away again. That seems like it's what it's going to be. You can't like camp it like you can technically. I mean, I know it's not the good thing to do with the Bladesworn. You don't, I don't think you typically camp the saber, but yeah, it's I don't think you're probably going to end up doing that either, which I think is sort of like, well, what's the fucking point of doing a longbow spec, right? Because like everyone who wants to use the bow spec literally just wants to use a bow. Like that's all they want to use. That's why they're playing ranger. And then oftentimes they'll misconcept ranger as being, oh, what's a ranger instead of like the actual like definition of a ranger, like a park ranger. Like I don't know. It's fucking stupid, that whole thing. But it's like I don't know. I don't really see a point in that kind of playstyle because I mean, yet again, also this is a range thing too. So it kind of begs the question: are they going to do the typical range shit where it's like they make it do less damage because of that range, but then in reality that actually just makes them completely fucking useless because you're just going to be in melee range all the goddamn time anyway because of how the boon system works and shit that actually matters. Of course, in open world stuff, it doesn't fucking matter, but like yet again, then if that's the case, why don't design an elite spec around open world? Do it around everything, including in-game stuff. So, yeah. So, emulate birds in the sky by employing squalls of air. They are swift and graceful to ensure advantageous positioning and battle. I don't really know what they mean in that to like ensure advantageous positioning in battle. How do birds like ensure that? How do they do that? Like, is it because they're attacking and drawing aggro or something, and so you're having a advantageous position? I don't know. Anyway, so they go over how you're using the skills or whatever and building towards the finale. I don't know if that means that they are doing them one after the other, so you unlock a skill, then the next skill, then the next skill, and then when you use your finale, it resets. I don't really know. I don't know. That would be kind of weird if that was the case because it seems like some of the skills are obviously going to be less damaging. So and have like different uses. Like there's like one that like knocks you back or whatever, and it's like, well then that's a little weird, Like I don't. That would be kind of odd. So I kind of doubt that. Um, the archers utilize squalls to control the flow of battle. Now the reason why I'm saying that these might be a utility skill, maybe as well as being a mechanic, I don't really know, is the fact that they kind of don't mention their utility skills in here. So if you look at like up here, I mean, maybe I'm being stupid here. Voices and instruments, so what, shout skills or something? No, that wouldn't make any sense. Shit. Where did they fucking mention it? I could have sworn that they mentioned the other, like the actual skills that they use through here. Maybe it was on here too. Um, I don't know, man. I don't know. Maybe it will be. Maybe it won't be. I don't fucking know, man. I really don't know. But anyway, uh, where's it at? Dominating, blah 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 blah. Here we go. Uh, Archers utilize squalls to control the flow of battle. They can call upon a freezing wind to chill their projectiles, launch themselves with a whirlwind, or even summon a raging tornado. So I would assume that not only that, well, actually, then that wouldn't. They can call upon a freezing wind. Okay, so squalls. So I don't understand this. So squalls. So will squalls be the utility skill and have that effect, or is that just a different thing from these skills here? And these are the actual utility skills, and they just don't name drop whatever they're called. Because I mean, how would they call upon? How would they launch themselves with a whirlwind? Oh, okay, that's the squall thing. Yeah. So they call upon a freezing whirlwind. They chill their projectiles, launch them. Wait, chill their projectiles. Oh, because they're talking about the archers. So when they say launch themselves, that's the archer. So launch themselves with a whirlwind or summon a raging tornado. The raging tornado part sounds like that sounds like an elite skill to me. That sounds like very much an elite skill, which to me is really, I cannot express if that is the case how refreshing it's going to be to have a elite skill that actually does damage and feels like an ultimate skill that isn't like just like something else. Like what do we have that does damage, right? Like the closest thing we have is One Wolf Pack or whatever the fuck it's called on Soul Beast, and that just makes it so you like hit double or whatever the fuck for a little bit. Strength of the pack is just kind of shitty. The whatever the hell the one is on Untamed, I'd never ever use that one, but it's like a really defensive heavy one. We just don't really have one that's like you use it and it does damage like straight up. Like we don't have that on Ranger. We've always like not had that. We've had like Entangle is like the closest thing, I guess. But like that's like a CC thing, so I don't know. Good luck using that. But anyway, Gale shots can form a closer bond with their avian allies through traits like Flock Together, enhancing bird pets and granting quickness to allies with B skills. Really odd decision to do another quickness spec when we don't have Alacrity, considering they took away Alacrity from Untamed to give it quickness for some odd reason. I don't really know why they did that. But yeah, so they're doing quickness on here. Weird decision. I could totally see this being reverted and going to, not reverted, but like changed to being Alacrity. But it is interesting. I'm really interested to see how they can enhance bird pets. I'm really interested in that. So, because I mean, bird pets, that's a whole. We're not just talking about the birds we're getting through the spec. We're talking about like the eagle, the raven, all that. So to me, I hear that and I'm like, okay, so what kind of enhancing are we get? Now, I saw some people, and you know what? To a certain extent, I'm not really happy with like this guy called it pigeonholing, which I thought was pretty funny, like a pretty funny pun. You into using one type of pet, and I don't really like that either. But man, I will not lie. I have been begging to use birds. Like it's always been cats, 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 cats. But after the Iboga was nerfed and the other pets were buffed, it's always been cats that have been on top. And I have been begging to use birds because I fucking love birds, man. I love them. Like I love them in real life. I love them in the game because they make the fucking bird sounds and shit. It's awesome. Like they're just really cool pets in the game. And I am also wondering. I don't think that this will work, but I would love it if they would enhance the pigeon relic with this somehow. That's my Discord, not yours. I would love it if they would somehow do that. That would be fucking sweet. Uh, that would be fucking. All right, anyway, I think that's the video, man. Peace out.